Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the ESL 1 Road to Rio. We're here in the EU portion for Movistar Riders against Copenhagen Flames. These are two teams that have been some of the surprises of this Group B, so this should be a good one, and we are ready to get on into it. Farlig pushing up through a long, he's not clear behind him. Lol's going to get the backstab, and it is into a 1 versus 4 for Nodius on the bomb site, trying to see what he can do. Lands the shot onto Steel, but he's not going to get anything else done. Movistar Riders with a nice retake. How's it going, Dean? I didn't really get to introduce you there because it was so quick.
It's all good.
I'm
just chilling. I wasn't needed. It was a very quick round. Movistar just kind of rolled over them and take themselves the opening pistol here on Inferno. And that's a pretty big pickup for them. We said coming into this series that it's certainly going to be a competitive one. I mean, both of these teams have been having some great results. Of course, toppling teams that most would expect to be a lot higher than them on the placements. Wards, they're hard sometimes, apparently. But yeah, coming in here, Inferno, of course, being the map choice of, I believe it is Copenhagen Flames. I need to get the veto back up now. I've lost it. It is back up here. Okay, so yeah, indeed. Inferno being the map choice of Copenhagen Flames, so being able to pick up the pistol here on their map choice, of course. Movistar Riders coming through, stealing that one away. Overpass then as the pick of Movistar Riders, and they've needed nuke, which would be interesting because Copenhagen Flames play it a lot, but statistically it is not one of their greatest maps, so I do think that could be a little bit tough for them as the decider. And with the way I'm seeing this, I feel like they kind of need to get themselves that 2-0 here if we are to see Copenhagen Flames picking up the victory.
Yeah, I think that's probably a fair assessment here. I think it should definitely be a close series. Even if it ends up being a 2-0, the maps at least can be close, which is what we want to see. And it's unfortunately only pistols in this round for Copenhagen Flames. Even with the bomb plant, they're taking a safe approach into this second round. Not a whole lot of investment, so it's pretty likely that Movistar Riders will be able to clean up this round without too many casualties, and already Mopos is landing at a nice shot to kick things off.
I've seen Copenhagen Flames with Glocks win 2 rounds, though, in the past week or so. So they normally do scare me. Movistar Riders, I think, dealing with it a little bit better than some of the teams we've seen. And indeed, Mopos actually getting himself 4, just being very patient there with the FAMAS tapping away, including the first kill he got earlier on. So only 1 casualty. It was an SMG that goes down as well, so not a big loss for Movistar Riders. But as you said, there was pretty much 0 investment in that round for Copenhagen Flames. They're coming right now onto their AKs. They'll get all of the nades that they want to actually pull out into this round. And I mean, no real weaknesses. Obviously, you could say they don't have an op, but being on the T side of Inferno, it's not really a weapon that they need to pull out. Even if Farlig sometimes does like to use it here on the T side of Inferno. Not being up against one especially, they know they're up against a few weaker weapons here being kept in play from Movistar Riders. So there is a chance for them to try and still get off to a good start here. But look at the confidence. Mopos, the man who got 4 in the previous round from Banana, this time he's just charged straight down mid. And for now hasn't been spotted. They don't even go ahead and clear it. No! Not a professional FAMAS sprayer, apparently.
Ooh, not the best start to the round. Copenhagen Flames, though, will be happy with the man advantage. Steel is in the apartments, though, in a sneaky spot where Copenhagen Flames have to make sure they're aware of the possibility of the aggression. And Steel's just going to sit behind this wall. There's not much cover there, but for the time being, he's alive.
Oh.
Now, though, Steel is spotted. Good shot from Refresh. Good awareness of the possibility of the player pushed into the apartments. And with a 2-man lead early into this round, Copenhagen Flames are looking good.
Yeah, you see Movistar Riders have been forced to take the gamble to stack 2 towards B because of this, and even with that, it's still not going to be an easy hold for them. The MP9 back off towards construction really relies on Alex being able to find a little bit here so that he could close in the distance and get up close. Fortunately for them, it's not actually the commitment. Unfortunately as well, it is only then 1 player on towards A, just being Lowell now to try and hold it. There is going to be a quick rotation coming in, but he's going to have to at least find 1 or 2 kills and delay a small bit to make it doable. And unfortunately, only finding the 1 kill probably isn't enough. Farlig is low. Since they weren't really able to find anything spamming in through the smoke, and now the bomb is allowed to be planted, at that point they're forced to call for the save. I mean, they took only 1 casualty in that previous round, so again, they built up a small bit of money. They will be able to force around what they have here. You'll likely see Easter dropping over that SMG. He'll have enough to get himself the rifle out. Sadly, not an op, even if he did want to bring it into play. But they'll be able to scrape together a decent enough investment, and I think Copenhagen Flames may be kind of willing to hunt because of that. This is risky, though, because if they give an AK over, that's even better.
Yeah, I think Nodius has maybe realized that, especially pushing alone is not necessary. You want at least someone to set you up with maybe a flash or someone to follow you up. and trade out the kill. So he just makes sure to hold his angle. So you won't see any action at the end of the round. Both teams surviving with what they had. Copenhagen Flames saving onto 4 players, Movistar Riders saving onto 2, but one of them was that MP9 into the hands of Eastor. So good round for Copenhagen Flames, getting one on the board pretty early into these gun rounds, and I think that's why they saved so heavily to get that gun round out so early. Instead of forcing off the back of the bomb plant, they just decide to save. They know that they're very good on this map, or at least they are confident in their T-side ability, and we've already seen that come through with their first round win.
Yeah, but they can... Oh, that nade. Because of the flash that came in, Alex wasn't really able to see. Fortunately, his teammate wasn't anywhere near where the explosion went off. He was given plenty of warning to step away as well. Doesn't really cost them anything, but it does give a little bit of room for Copenhagen Flames to start moving forward on Banana. They were either way just kind of waiting for those nades to come in, knowing that it was very likely, and that perhaps with the weaker weapons you might have even seen aggression from Movistar Riders. And I mean, they have gone for a 3-man B stack in the beginning of the round. As you can see, they do want to at least challenge around the car area. I don't think going to be trying to get too aggressive down any further anyways, as the smoke will begin to fade away soon enough. And for the moment, I mean, leaving Mopo's in a very solo position forward, spots the boost up above on the logs, does quite a bit of damage onto Nodios and forces them now to go ahead and back out of that little play that they were going for there to try and find the opening. And now time's becoming a bit of an issue. I mean, 50 seconds left. If they want to bring it towards B, they do need to make sure that they get Banana really soon, actually open up that option for themselves.
Copenhagen Flames are pretty happy to play methodically as a team. They're pretty happy to rely on their utility in the late round to get them through into these ones, and that's what they're going to do here. 34 seconds left, and Copenhagen Flames begin to group up on Banana. There are 3 CTs here, but 2 of them are currently in sort of CT spawn. Mopos is boosted up, so he can peer over the smoke, but Eastor won't have a clear line of sight once this smoke comes into play, and here comes the utility from the Flames.
Yeah, not going to be actually catching anyone with those flames themselves. Everyone's still in decent position, but they can actually continue to hold. Alex was able to get one thanks to the flash from Eastor, and look at the time. The bomb is only just about going to be allowed to be planted. You seen, because of that, Eastor wanted to force the issue and see if he could stop it. But then once he goes down, they're left in a 2-on-3 that they want nothing to do with anymore. So that really was the kind of all-in, all-or-nothing play from Eastor, and with it not working out, they have to go ahead and concede this one. The weapons will be saved over yet again for 2 players, but this time without the money in the bank, they won't really be able to buy up around it. That was so close, though. Those 2 kills coming in nearly delayed it enough.
Yeah, I was saying that Copenhagen Flames oftentimes like to maybe sort of run down the clock in some of these rounds. I didn't think it was going to be to that extent. But again, you see that the confidence they have in their executes once they actually move onto a bomb site. They're confident that the smokes and the Molotovs are going to clear out enough positions that they can quickly move onto the site itself. That ended up working out pretty well for the Danes as they get their second round win on the board. And Movistar Riders, as you pointed out, don't have the best situation in terms of their money. So good opportunity for Copenhagen Flames to bounce back after losing the pistol round. They're not letting this get out of control. They're instantly reclaiming control of the game, and they're looking good to do so in this round as they're only really against those 2 save guns.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised we just see them going for a relatively standard setup. Gonna boost the 1 M4 actually up into a nice little position that may not be expected. And they do have a bit of a stack with 4 players over towards A. But they're just going to be really waiting for this push to come in their direction. I mean, 1 smoke, so that if they can time that correctly, they also have a flash which will be thrown over before the T's really show their presence up close on mid. A little bit of utility being thrown in, I guess, causing them, forcing them to react to it and try and see what's actually going on around that area. And again, going to actually group up now and go ahead and swing in for the repeat. At this point, I guess, presuming even if they do go down, they of course have the M4 still around to help them out, which is no longer boosted up, surprisingly. It's actually all the way back in Graveyard watching for the apartments wrap. So the M4 for the moment isn't really in these early exchanges, given a good opportunity for the rifles of Copenhagen Flames to actually find these opening duels potentially. Although early haven't connected their own shots and have taken a small bit of damage themselves.
Once again, Copenhagen Flames slowly work for map control, forcing the CTs to play back from the bomb site. But there are 3 players already stacked on this A site and a 4th man rotating. Comes the MP9 of Steel. Up close, he almost gets the double kill, but Refresh picks up an important refrag. He's still sitting behind that smoke, but it's Lowell with the M4 who's got a kill from Pit, and now Eastor comes into play, and AK recovered. He could get this kill onto the site. Farlig goes down, but the trade's looking good for Copenhagen Flames. They should get this bomb down safely. Again, the time is low, but again, Copenhagen Flames don't fall to the time. They end up getting the bomb back in time, and they end up losing a couple of players, sure, but at least winning the rounds comfortably.
Yeah, winning out in the end and doing so at least in a position where they had a little bit of money left over so they could reinvest onto the players that they lost, but it's not ideal considering there was so little investment there. There was only really the saved weapons over from the CT side. I think they would have wanted to have kept at least 3 players alive, but it won't matter obviously if they come through immediately, shut down Movistar Riders here in this gun round, which is not ideal from them. No kits coming in, very little utility, which has really limited them in being able to get aggressive around towards Banana. You can see there is 3 players stacked on this side of the map, but they're not really looking to challenge. Those nades down mid didn't really do too much to Farlig, but they did do a small bit. You might think it's not really too substantial, but up against the M4s, which of course now at this point will be a little bit more deadly towards those players, pretty much no longer having helmets in the case of Farlig and Nodios, and also the FAMAS as well, it helps out quite a bit. Alex still going aggressive. I don't think he was spotted, but the footsteps may have been heard. And with that one player showing presence, they may consider backing off down Banana for the moment. Or you've seen a couple of them at least getting a little bit more passive. But with that, Movistar Riders have taken the gamble themselves to rotate back around towards A. So they're putting a lot of trust in Alex, who has absolutely 0 utility. So the only way he can actually defend his bomb site is to get the kills if it does come in this direction.
More of the same at the start of the round for Copenhagen Flames, though, continuing to play their own play style. However, they are going to end on the A-bomb site, where Movistar Riders previously had the 4-man stack, but they've just gone away from it. They've just rotated a man back to B as the push comes in. Mopos picks up the opening frag on the hold. Eastor struggling with the rifle, and he can't get a single kill. Nodius lands a nice headshot, but that smoke at A long is causing some issues for Copenhagen Flames here. It's going to buy a bit more time for the CTs, and oh, Nodius gets him through the smoke. Now they can move on to the A site with Queenix also finding an entry, and it's just kill after kill for the Copenhagen Flames. Again, they keep running down the clock, but they keep having these perfect site takes, which means that it doesn't matter. They're doing a really good job here at just getting all the kills they need and another round on the board.
And as I said, with that, negate the damage that we actually seen come in from Movistar Riders in that previous round. Going to be themselves now again, just working around the one save. The rifle, $2,900 coming in is not enough, obviously, for them to buy, so we'll probably just see some pistols. Maybe Kevlar, a few nades as well. It'll be very useful, smokes and such, so that they can hold off those bomb sites. Considering we do already see Copenhagen Flames playing quite slow, if they could save some of those for later in the round, and potentially even force Copenhagen Flames up close against pistols, there's definitely still opportunities. But overall, Copenhagen Flames taking themselves some really good control here early on Inferno. It is their map choice, so not too surprising, but it's also a map that Movistar Riders are certainly capable of playing. Overpass coming up next, though. I think that's going to be a bit more of a struggle for Copenhagen Flames, if I'm being honest. It's certainly going to be a tough one. I think that's one where you definitely look at Movistar Riders as being the clear-cut favourites.
Yeah, I think in theory, Overpass looks like a map that could suit the way that Copenhagen Flames play in terms of their slow play style, but I just think that when you actually see them play the map, that doesn't translate too often because they don't really play the map too often, so they don't get the same amount of practice on it.
Close enough when they play it. Looking at it right now, they just don't play it much, as you said. So it's kind of the experience of Movistar Riders with it being a map that they do play so often. I think it will be a tough one for them. But if they come off the back of a dominant victory on Inferno, who's to say they can't?
That's very true. And right now it is looking dominant for them. Really just making sure that these rounds are very one-sided in their favor. Again, using their utility wisely. The timings on these pushes have been very, very good so far. Movistar Riders haven't been able to deal with the same playstyle that Copenhagen Flames keep on running with. Flash being lined up by Mopos. There's not much to work with in this round, but Alex with the M4 is on Banana, so he wants to get set up with a flash here, sitting behind Sandbags. The flash needs to come soon, but Alex just takes the fight, and it's a quick one-for-one trade. That's absolutely fine for Copenhagen Flames, because they've now removed the one gun that Movistar Riders had saved, so it's just pistols left for the CTs.
Yeah, that's a big loss for them in this round now. Ooh, Ooh, Lowell. Okay, may have just retrieved them a rifle. Yeah, AK immediately brought into his possession. A man advantage snatched back by Movistar. And with all three remaining players for Copenhagen Flames already over on Banana, they are just going to commit this in towards B, and there's even been a bit of time for Steel to go ahead and rotate himself around. Only the pistol, so that is one positive. Nadio's instantly being dinked. Definitely making things a little bit more difficult now on the boost up for Steel with the C-Sec. It's caused so much damage. Mopos actually gets 2 on the 5-7, and now Farlig is left alone. This man can be an absolute god, but this 1-on-3 is going to be extremely difficult. 2 on the spawn, 1 on the bomb site, who's now gone. Steel pushes in and goes down as well. It's all on Lowell. AK against AK. Lowell fortunately does have Kevlar, so obviously aim punch won't be an issue. And with Farlig being quite low, he's certainly favoured in this one. And with his position not being known as well, has the element of surprise, comes around from construction and finds the side exposed. There it is, Movistar Riders, they fight back in, put a stop to what was actually what was a 4-round win streak from Copenhagen Flames. And they do it with just 1 saved rifle and some pistols.
Yeah, I think the timing on that apartments push was a big part of getting them into that round as well, because Lowell just got the push at the right time. Just as the player was looking away, he got that fight and he quickly made the most of it. So nicely done by Movistar Riders. After some gun rounds go against them heavily, the pistols pull through in that one, but Mopos pushing on Banana doesn't realize that Farlig is already in position. The AWP picks up the entry frag for Copenhagen Flames. And the Danes are looking good at the start of this round. The Molotov is going to force Alex to put down a smoke of his own, and he's trapped at sandbags. They should be aware of that now. The nade goes in. They're looking to close in on Alex's position. He continues to remain in the corner, and Lowell tries to fight to help his teammate. Alex eventually comes into play. There are the 2 kills he was looking for, and Copenhagen Flames cancel the Banana aggression.
Yeah, but at this point, Easter now left alone on the A bomb site, and with that 2 players stacked towards B, still at the moment, they do have quite a long time to rotate around. I was so worried for Easter. Once he got that smoke down, there was maybe a small bit of room for him to move and try and maneuver around the bomb site and stay alive, but unfortunately taken down through the edge of it. So now it comes onto the 2v2. This gets available. That Molotov nicely timed. That actually hits Steel directly as he comes around the corner. Keeps him in position for a moment, then made it easy for Queenix to follow up with the headshot. So it is Alex left in a 1-on-2. Knows Hooksie's on the bomb site 100% because of that molly being thrown out. Obviously knows the other player is around piss still somewhere as he hasn't crossed over. But it's going to be very difficult to come out of the apartments here. Once he gets spotted by one, they'll both focus their attention. Gets Queenix, though, as the head was spotted above. It's just Hooksie trapped in on the bomb site. He knows this. He has to be around this area somewhere, but he's not able to find the kill. Hooksie comes out on top. He just tucked himself in until the peak was available. 5-3. Copenhagen Flames fight right back in with another T round for themselves. And Movistar Riders again left in an awkward spot despite winning out the weaker buy for themselves in that previous round. After reinvesting into all the nades and such in that one, they don't have much money left over.
Yeah, not in the best position. Copenhagen Flames, though, they're really, I think, all things considered, just controlling most of these rounds. They're feeling very comfortable on Inferno, it looks like. You can see the way they're rotating between the bomb sites, the way they're quickly making these calls. You can see that they've got these plans in place, where as soon as they see those 2 players on Banana, they decide, okay, we're going to go back to the A site, and we can quickly take A, and they're confident in doing so. So it's really nice to see Copenhagen Flames play with such confidence, really, in these calls. They seem to always know exactly what they're going to do. They seem to always be 1 step ahead in the majority of these rounds, and hopefully it's the same here. Eastor's got that 1 hero AWP that he's bought, and other than that, Movistar Riders stuck with the pistols and no nades. So again, we're going to need some heroics from the Spaniards here.
And I never want to count them out. Easter with the up, he can have a lot of impact, of course, but Farlig also with his one of the standout players so far here for Copenhagen Flames. And as I said, that can be tough to do with the up here on the T side of Inferno, and they're about to clash. Going forward right now, Easter immediately going to be shut down. And it looked like there was a couple players actually following him up, which could have allowed for the weapon to be retrieved. But Alex, I believe, it just fell back off to the bombs, to the CT spawn. Mopos, it just fell back off to the bomb site. And yeah, at this point, just the pistols left to try and defend. That up is not going to be retrieved for the CTs, unfortunately. As the B bomb site falls, the bomb will be planted. And Steel and Lowell, I mean, Lowell, in his case, can probably just save the Kevlar in the 5-7. Hasn't taken any damage either, so he'll get the upgrade to the helmet for 350. Steel could also go hunt down, but they may just keep him alongside Lowell so that he'll be there to maybe delay a little bit further if Copenhagen Flames do end up coming in their direction. Although we know, and I would imagine Movistar Riders do too, that the economy isn't really in a good spot for Copenhagen Flames, with them having just traded the previous round back. So it's only really this one that's letting them build that money up.
Should be good to save most of these guns, though. It doesn't look like Movistar Riders are even going to be close enough to get a single kill here, so Copenhagen Flames will be okay once they save at the end of this round. Yeah, Movistar Riders, other than that one, well, the one pistol round, and then the one round where they won with the heroics, they haven't been able to show us too much in these early gun rounds. At least Movistar Riders are getting some rounds on the board. It's better than it could be, considering how dominant Copenhagen Flames have been in some of these gun rounds. But it still feels like Copenhagen Flames are the ones in control right now. Let's see if that changes here, because Movistar Riders are back to a bye. They've been able to drop the AWP into Eastor's hands again after he bought his own in the previous round. He needed his teammate to drop him, but it's all good. They get the bye together. The nades are looking okay across the board. And we'll see what Movistar Riders decide to do here. The three-man B stack suggests we might see some early nades. And Molly goes down mid as well. And no early aggression from Copenhagen Flames. Again, continuing to stick with this playstyle that's worked so well for them.
This time, Movistar Riders getting this control towards Banana a little bit earlier on has given them the ability to rotate back around, and even a flank is going to follow straight up. They're not even watching for this yet, presuming that Movistar Riders would just stay passive, or at least just keep themselves under control. Alex goes through, gets 2 headshots, and destroys whatever plan Copenhagen Flames had in mind. It was clearly to execute on towards A. Mopos has also gone around in towards the spawn now, as Alex has decided to actually stay towards the top of Banana. So if they rushed back down and were to see Alex, they'd probably presume that there was no more aggression around this area, and then Mopos will just pop out of nowhere, although he may be able to find someone even before that. Queenix in the apartments, Hooksy up close on mid, and one player back in the spawn who may be able to flank him, but I don't know if you'll be expecting them to be towards the apartments. So for now, yeah, Refresh just going to be clearing out ramp. So that is just a big issue. The question is, can they find any openings on towards the bomb site before that flank can really get anything done? They are going to begin to go forward now. You hear the op of Chris scoping, and that information should be actually called over. Why those A players? The wall bangs on the steal. But there we go, Queenix. He's going to be able to at least get that trade onto Lel. So a 2-on-3, but this is when the flank should be able to pounce. Hearing at least that the steps are going back towards B, but I don't know if he'll catch them quite in time. So it is going to be Alex who has to put up a defense.
I think Mopos was moving back to the A site, assuming it might have been the A play, but instead they're going over to B. That means Mopos' flank isn't in the play in the round, and Alex goes down on the B bomb site. So bomb, well, it might be planted, but Mopos is going to spray. Mopos denies the bomb plant. That's round done. Refresh can't do anything about it. He has to fight. He goes down, and Movistar Riders just about win the round. And this time, the time does cost Copenhagen Flames. With 6 seconds left, the bomb plant is denied, and Movistar Riders pick up that 4th round. So the flank does come through eventually. It just took a little bit longer, Dean.
Yeah, a little bit longer, pretty much the entire round. we seen that aggression come in right from the beginning nearly. So it was relatively early on, and they didn't really know about it. It almost went a little bit sour, but again, the time being an issue for Copenhagen Flames has been pointed out, and yeah, they're just not letting up. Mopos this time, instead of going aggressive on Banana, just charges straight down mid. Able to find himself 1 kill instantly. Beginning to fall back, knows there's one in the apartment that he has to be careful of, and Refresh actually wins out the second aim duel for himself. Not going to be any help there, of course, for Mopos as he was pushed up in the apartments. I'm kind of surprised he continued to fight. I guess realizing they had lost one player, they ideally wanted a man advantage. Instead, now it's Copenhagen Flames who have that, and committing towards B, it's Alex again to try and hold this one on his own. Gets 1, but again returned on. It's just not really enough in the position that he found himself in, so the bomb should be brought over. Refresh is taking his time. Not sure if anyone could have been still aggressive on mid. So it is slightly delaying things, given a little bit of time for Movistar Riders if they wanted to set themselves up for the retake. But I think at this point, kind of given up on it. They've already begun to fall back over towards A. Understandable with the money they have. Again, Movistar Riders just get 1, and it is instantly traded back on by Copenhagen Flames. Being on the CT side, obviously that is not something they can afford to have keep happening to them. Otherwise, their economy is always going to be in a position where they're just scraping together buys between whatever's saved and whatever else they can just about manage to afford.
Yeah, considering the early aggression that Movistar Riders had in this round, I think Copenhagen Flames did a good job at just making sure they stayed in a decent position throughout this one. The early aggression really seemed to catch them out, but again, they seem to remain calm under the pressure. They come back into the round, and it's Movistar Riders who are the ones who are ending up having to save. Copenhagen Flames, though, their money is still in a position where it can be broken pretty quickly. The only problem for Movistar Riders is they're obviously not having the full buy here, but we've seen them do some work with pistols previously. They'll be hoping that they can do the same again right now, because this has been a fairly close game. 7-4 scoreline. Copenhagen Flames still unable to build up too much of a bank, and Movistar Riders will look to make something happen with the AWP on Eastor and the M4 saved by Lowell.
Again, really going for what they can, keeping enough in this next round to get the full investment, obviously, but likely we're going to be seeing Copenhagen Flames already up on 8 rounds, unless they can find something early on. Easter, surprisingly not being taken down, was blinded up there for quite a while. He doesn't realize Nodios has actually closed in the distance so much during that time. So once he does re-peek back in, Nodios gets himself the headshot. The op is going to be retrieved at least by Mopaz, but not for free. He ends up taking quite a lot of damage from the nade that came in as he was falling back away. So a solid advantage here for Copenhagen Flames in a round that was already favoring them quite massively to begin with. And you can see because of that, Movistar Riders, they've been forced to go ahead and kind of gamble a stack towards B, pushing in, realizing there's no one around the car area at least, so at most they are just holding around the bottom of Banana. So now they're willing to rotate the stack back over to A, and that looks like it could be the correct decision, but with a minute left, it could really go anywhere.
Yeah, they are starting to run a bit low on nades on the T side, but they should be okay. Mopaz going aggressive with the AWP, and he gets the timing right on the peak. Hooksy goes down. Refresh is up close, though, looking for the trade. And he picks off the first man. Why has he got his knife out? Alex, oh, somehow doesn't get that kill. Refresh gets away with the frag. He should not have been able to get that one, but it happens for him. And Queenix clears the site. Man, Refresh is lucky that he won that fight, considering he jumped around the corner with the knife. But somehow, he ends up winning it.
Crazy round overall. But kind of going to plan for Copenhagen Flames, only taking 1 casualty in the long run. They're pretty good with that one. Movistar Riders, considering they had the 2 saved weapons and they invested a bit into some nades and the Kevlar and pistols, they probably wanted a little bit more from it. But coming onto the buy here, it's alright. No kit available. They do have to prioritize the nades alongside the M4s. So if it does come down to a retake again, which we've already seen quite a few times, they again could be forced into a save position. Stack towards B. Actually challenge over towards Banana. We haven't really seen them go too aggressive over these past couple of rounds. They have certainly slowed it down. It was Mopos who was kind of relentless with his aggression before and cost them in the end, but it was also giving them the chance for the rounds because they were playing so risky, but trying to play something a little bit more reliable, I suppose, at this point. Not really finding anything for their efforts towards Banana apart from quite a bit of damage to themselves. And Copenhagen Flames, I think, have realized what was going on. They've already set themselves up quickly to go towards A. It's 2 players towards short. They're setting themselves up to watch apartments, and also the mid push is going to be so difficult. The opening kill does come in from Easter, but the trade immediately being found, and now Steel, he's in on mid. They actually don't even push out Boiler. They wait. Despite Hooksy actually going down, Farlig finds the angle for himself there from Boiler. Picks up the headshot, picks up the trade, and without the kit, as I said, this is going to be very difficult. Once the bomb gets planted, they have maybe a couple seconds to find an opening to give them that opportunity to go forward. Oh, and another smoke going down. I don't think that landed quite as expected, but it does block off Library.
Yeah, Movistar Riders still haven't had a look, so like you were saying, that they may just have to cool this off. After 5 or 10 seconds, it quickly starts to slip away from you in terms of the time you have left on the retake when you don't have the kit. And so with Copenhagen Flames just playing passive, playing safe, not giving away any free fights, Movistar Riders are stuck saving. So once again, Copenhagen Flames just trade their way onto a bomb site. This time a bit faster with their push onto A, but still very well thought through. They're up to a 9-4 lead now. And again, at the very least, Movistar Riders are saving these guns, but there's a point where you have to get rounds on the board, unfortunately, and right now they've only got 4 on this CT side. We're heading into the late stages of this first half now, so yeah, saving to get a buy into this round is nice, but they're going to need to try and compete for these last couple of rounds here to get a decent half together.
I'm really surprised he gave Easter an M4. I guess wanted I think he got himself a kit and a molly maybe off the back of it, but an interesting money. Easter doesn't even spend all of his money, neither does Alex and Steel, so they're giving themselves a little bit of money here overall. I feel like, as you said, they need these round wins, though, so you should probably be going all in to ensure the victory. Mopos does pull one back with the Molotov aggressively onto Fireleg and was hoping he could shut down the banana control completely if he had have gotten that second kill, but he does end up falling, which again gives Copenhagen Flames a really strong position. They've got banana control, they've got a man advantage, and they've already forced Movistar Riders to go ahead and stack up all of the remaining players towards B. For the moment, they aren't going to realize this, obviously, but once some aggression is shown, perhaps they will. Maybe then the bomb can be just instantly grabbed and brought back over. Oh, but the nade's going in. Should do some good damage on Hooksy. Yeah, brought to 13. Some people consider that an unlucky number, but in this case, he was lucky to survive.
Yeah, definitely. But the two nades just give away that there is a maximum of one player on the A site. So Copenhagen Flames have quickly faked going back to A, and now they're going to move over to the B side of the map. Or sorry, the A side of the map. Oh, yeah, here we go. Push coming in. Refresh with a nice headshot. Nice trade onto B. And this B play is working nicely. Copenhagen Flames again playing mind games with their opponents, but here comes Steel barreling through the smoke. Refresh is ready for it, and Eastor has to try and win a 1 versus 3. Bomb yet to be planted, but it's about to go down. That nade at the very least does a bit of damage, but Hooksy is on the flank this entire time as well, and with Eastor being mollied off, there's just so few options available for him here.
Yeah, no saving this time. As I had said, they kept some money onto 3 of their players there in the previous round, so Easter can buy an op, Alex can buy, so can Steel. Obviously, they have to go for the buy, but by buy, I mean they have enough to get the kind of basics of what you think of as a full investment, which is the rifle, the Kevlar, and at least a few nades to support it. Easter's able to get himself the op, 1 MP9 on a Mopo, so he can get nades out. He wouldn't have got the rifle otherwise unless he wanted a FAMAS. And Lel just about gets himself out the M4. So, yeah, not the worst investment we've seen, but they've been struggling even with better here so far on the CT side. So it's certainly worrying. There's a good chance for Copenhagen Flames to bring it up to 11 still. And even if they don't, 10 is a fantastic D side on Inferno. Especially when they lost the pistol and the subsequent round. It was 2-0 at one point for Movistar Riders. Again, I'm expecting them to fare a lot better on Overpass, but I expected more of them still here on Inferno.
Yeah, I'm definitely impressed with Copenhagen Flames, though. There's clearly a reason why this map has such a high win rate for them. They've got such good wins on this map against some really, really highly ranked teams, because they are just always in control of the situation, it feels right now. Whenever Movistar Riders rotate, it feels like it's because Copenhagen Flames want them to. Eastor, close range with the AWP, not the best position, but Lowell is also up close and personal. He's traded out by Farlig, though, and again, Copenhagen Flames are just too good at these trades. Movistar Riders unable to win the fights, and Alex now has to try a 1v3 at the end of the half.
Yeah, you can't save that M4 into the next pistol round, sadly. That'd be cheating. Alex, oh, I was about to say he should be caught here by the player coming around mid, but reacted quickly to find himself the headshot on the Nautilus, so that is one small opening now for him. Still, though, 2 players. They know he's coming in from long to smoke the lane. They're both focused on this position. The Molotov going down. There's another Molotov on Farlig. I mean, flashes as well. This is going to be so difficult. Is the other Molotov? Nah, he's not going to show himself. He's just going to let him creep in. This is done. Alex, sure he has a kid. There's about 6 seconds left on the bomb at this point, so it was impossible for him to get the kills and then get onto the bomb as well. There it is, 11-4 at the halftime for Copenhagen Flames. They are looking fantastic here on their map choice. The question is, can they keep it up? Can they go ahead and close this one out convincingly as they move on to Overpass, where we said it is going to be a little bit of a tougher task for them. But if they can get themselves a dominant victory here, we're definitely not going to count them out. But let's see. We are, of course, going to have to send it over to a break, guys. When we get back, we'll see if Movistar Riders have any fight left in them here on Inferno.
Look into your eyes, I see the colors of your soul, and I recognize every single line, every single roadblock. We are 2 hearts that beat in time, and the towers looking down all night, blocking out the sun that we need. Maybe we can change our stripes and colors. You're the only one I see. And I take it all or nothing. take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Into my past and I count the numbers of the dreams that I left behind. I don't even care now that I've discovered a new kind of peace of mind. Up above us, looking down on us, there's an angel I know. We don't need to worry or discuss much. It's time for me to hit the road. Take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, and I take it all.
Welcome back, ladies and gents. We're ready to get underway into the second half. Copenhagen Flames starting on this CT side now with already 11 rounds on the board and some mid aggression and some B apartments aggression. This is looking good for them. A apartments aggression, I should say. Hooksy getting a kill, but the trades are even so far.
I didn't know Hawker can move parts of the map to other areas.
I just decided
he's
it's not B apartments.
Overwatching. Yeah, he's not just a caster. He's controlling from above. That's what
You
it is.
watch. There'll be a new version of Inferno with the B apartments. I just predicted the future.
Just because you said it. Not bad trades early on, though. Despite a good start for Copenhagen Flames, they kind of end up losing the control that they were able to find. I think Movistar Riders definitely feeling a little bit more comfortable. And also not losing the players with the utility. They still have 2 smokes, a molly, and a couple flashes here. So certainly can be useful. Nadios himself having some nades. Hooksy with a kit there for the CT side. Farlick's the only one on Kevlar, so he is playing a little bit more aggressive. And with that, found one in towards the apartments. The A ones, not the B ones. Also getting one on mid then. And yeah, Mopo's left alone without the Kevlar already tagged up so heavily by those body shots. And although he will retrieve the bomb, there was also a flank coming in from Nadios to ensure that not much else would be able to be done. He tried to shoot the smokes forward there so his teammates could maybe get them, but there wasn't time. Just a little thing. He tried to help. 12-4. That round was so needed by Movistar. Oh, they're actually going to buy in as well. If this buy doesn't work at that point, 14-4 before they get a gun round.
Yeah, that's scary. Don't want to be in that position. The force spy for Movistar Riders is going to have to be on point here. Mac 10 is the only primary weapon they have currently in their hands. Maybe they'll be able to recover one as the round goes on, though. Copenhagen Flames also with a bunch of SMGs. As Refresh does a little bit of damage. Spots one man over at second mid. Decides to back away, allowing Movistar Riders to take control of the apartments, which they will do so.
The MP9 playing a relatively kind of medium range angle there with it. Not the optimal range of it, but still working out pretty well because he was just able to burst away at the heads of the first 2 players who tried to charge out. Nades then also delaying the rest of them. They've been able to follow up for quite a while, so it's given so much time for the CTs to position themselves. Phoenix gets one more before eventually Steel returns a single frag from Movistar Riders, and that's all they're allowed to find. So it will be quite a clean round from Copenhagen Flames. As I said, that was the investment from Movistar Riders. Now they're looking at an eco. We should see 14-4 for Copenhagen Flames, and they have shown us so far why they chose Inferno. They are looking fantastic here, and they have been for the past few weeks, no matter what opponent they go up against.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to read the names of some of the opponents they've beaten on this map to realize why they've been so successful on it. The last time they lost this map was back in March, so that's 2 months ago now, pretty much. And they've got wins against North, wins against G2, wins against Godsent and Contact. Just some really good teams they've beaten on this map. It's clearly the one they're most comfortable on, and that is absolutely shining on through in this one. I also should point out, for everyone watching the stream, that the ADR stats on the HUD are currently wrong. I promise you, Alex doesn't have 0 ADR and 12 kills. I think it's just going to show the ADR for the second half, sadly, which is okay. Because this game might be over pretty soon, honestly.
Where's this say? It actually doesn't say that for me. It says Alex for me is 81 ADR.
Yeah, it's so my custom HUD wasn't working for the first half, so I think it must have just not recorded any of the damage for the first half, right? I guess.
Yeah, maybe if you turn the normal one back on too late. Strange one. But we have an eco here. Well, a deco. It is all deagles. I believe Steel also had one, but he's gone down. You can see it indeed on the floor. That could be a little bit of an upgrade for refresh if he's able to go ahead and move forward, which right now should be fine. There's one player who pushed out mid, but he's gone around long and did get spotted before making it around the corner, so this should be dealt with. And yeah, there you go. Fireleg is able to do so quite easily. The one casualty so far coming through over towards Banana, not really going to be given too many opportunities over to the T side, considering it was only an MP9 that was retrieved. And as it comes around the edge of the smoke, Luxie from above rains down death with his own MP9. And there's the finish from Fireleg. 14-4, again, only one casualty for the Danish side. And this is going to have to be one of the most flawless T sides of Inferno I've ever seen if Movistar Riders want to make this comeback happen. I feel like we most likely are going to be moving on to Overpass, which we said will definitely be favoring Movistar Riders. But if they're going to be losing 16-4, then I don't know. The form of Copenhagen Flames right now is incredible and has been, as you mentioned, as I mentioned, as you reasoned by giving us some of the previous matchups, even just here on Inferno. It's just been so incredible lately. It's kind of, there has been 3 teams that have been surprising people a little bit. It's Movistar Riders, Copenhagen Flames, and Heretics. They've been having incredible performances.
Yeah, it's nice to see. I think everyone knows that Farlig with a great shot. I think most people know that the EU is just very competitive across the board, that there are a bunch of teams that are kind of just below the top level that if they improve slightly can really start to compete, and we're definitely seeing that here, because some of these teams like Movistar Riders, like Copenhagen Flames, in the past they haven't maybe had the same chances to play this many games against top tier opposition, but they've really proven themselves when given the opportunity. And unfortunately for Movistar Riders, in this round, they've already lost the early advantage with that pick coming in from Farlig. Movistar Riders just spreading across the map now, looking for a way back into this round.
Yeah, grouping up around mid to try and find that opening back in that you were mentioning. Going to be slowed down at least a little bit in their efforts by that smoke. It's a little bit of an awkward spot to be in, but by the time they do get to move forward, the time is going to be getting extremely low. It'll allow for the CTs to definitely have an opportunity to try and actually delay. I was going to say there is a Molotov, but it's actually back over towards B, so that's not going to be too useful. And for now, I mean, actually rotating a player back around towards Library means if they can manage to get in towards, maybe isolate some of these fights using that smoke that they have, I figured they'd put it over towards Moto. Just playing off a contact instead. Steel leads the charge, goes down. One more player being in the same angle. But Mopo's this time does find success. So there's a small opening, but they've still got to deal with Queenix in the pit and refresh on the bomb site. Trapped in towards the back, so this is not an ideal position. Gets one to delay, and now there's 8 seconds left. That bomb at least should be planted. I don't think there's much to be done about stopping it. And indeed, that's going to give them a chance to try and play the after plant, but outnumbered with a man still in pit being a nuisance, it's going to be tough. But there we go, Hooksy in the apartments drops. Alex finds Queenix, and now Nodios is left alone.
Oh, he's not given the options either.
Oh, they're going to double swing.
Ooh, yeah.
Perfect.
There it is. Good teamwork from Movistar Riders to close out the round, giving the AWP no chance against them. And Movistar Riders kind of channeling their inner Copenhagen Flames for that round with the very late bomb plant. But it works out for them because they get onto the A site, they land a couple of nice shots. And I guess Movistar Riders are going to have to continue to channel their inner Copenhagen Flames throughout the entirety of this T side to have a chance here on Inferno. They're going to need a lot of rounds in a row, but they've got off to a good start. Even from the 4v5, they come back to win the round, and they'll look to do that again in this one as we see a bit of a B stack from Copenhagen Flames, but they're not looking for banana control, and they'll now go back into the default 3 on A and 2 on B setup on their CT side.
Crazy. those weaker weapons, I wouldn't have minded if they did go for a little bit of a crazier approach to the round, if I'm being honest. But feeling confident in themselves, they definitely have been the better team so far throughout this game. So just going with their setup and feeling confident that it will work out for them. Having the up for Farlig obviously being a big boost. He's having a good game so far, 19 to 10. Looking at his stat line, closely followed by Queenix. We tend to see kind of Farlig, Queenix, and Nodios being up there towards the top of the scoreboard. Nodios a little bit less so since Queenix came in. It seems like they've kind of balanced each other out, so they're both contributing quite a lot. And then obviously Refresh is insane as well as is Huxi, so there's really no weak points on this Copenhagen Flames lineup. Right now though, creeping out mid, the MP9 up close to the corner. Queenix taking that first contact. I was going to say good work out in the B, and indeed he gets himself one kill with the MP9, but unfortunately not really going to be enough in this position. Alex, he was the one to find himself the second try to trade it back. Refresh, I was going to say, may have found them the short control and potentially the bomb if he had a stead in that position and followed up with the second kill, but moved back into challenge long. Alex, he just keeps on fragging and spamming through the smoke. Manages to catch Nodios. He's angry. He is upset about how this game has been going so far and just single-handedly wins them this round.
Ooh, yeah, that last kill especially was just rude. He didn't even need to get that one, but he just spammed straight through to Library, gets the kill. And now Farlig is just hoping to save that AWP over. So Movistar Riders have got the start they needed here to mount this comeback. The most important thing when you're trying these comebacks is making sure you can break that CT economy in the first place. Because now there will be some rounds where Copenhagen Flames should probably have some weaker investments, some weaker weapons. You already saw in that previous round they had a couple of weaker weapons in play. So with Farlig saving the AWP, the rest of the team are probably going to have to hard save as well. I think the losing bonus is okay for Copenhagen Flames. Yeah, $2,400. So if they fully save on every player, they can maybe buy into the next round. But even then, it wouldn't be a perfect buy. They'd be missing some of the nades, which are oh so important on Inferno. So it's a bit of an awkward position for Copenhagen Flames to be in, but it looks like that's the decision they have made. The full save into round 21. And so it really is all on Farlig to do anything in this round with that AWP saved.
Yeah, stacking up around mid with those pistols. And trusting the up the solo hole towards B, and this is kind of the setup you would be expecting in this position. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, they are going to be challenged, so that is one positive. The only issue is if the push comes out through apartments, it's going to be a little bit harder for them to deal with at that point. The flash is coming over as well. Now the pit is going to be taken. All over the sandwich in towards short. They're forced to make the play by actually pushing in towards middle where Steel was hold. And yeah, certainly a steel wall. It was completely impenetrable right there. Anyways, Farlig may find himself one kill, but I don't think he'll be really looking for anything else off the back of that. Probably just trying to save once again. See if he can bring that up into the next round and give them something that otherwise they wouldn't be able to afford unless Huxi was to go ahead and bring it out glass cannon, which would be very unlikely because he wouldn't really be keeping it for himself at that point. He'd likely be dropping it over to Farlig, and without Kevlar, an M4 would be pretty difficult to utilize. Right now, though, Farlig is being hunted pretty aggressively. Movistar Riders only need enough to actively buy for one round, so they're willing to throw a little bit towards this to see if they can make sure that this round is going to be that much easier for them. As I said, no up would be allowed otherwise. Oh, Farlig, though, posted up. I feel like there's not much Lowell can do about this one. It's more about the follow-up player then. Yeah, actually, they're beginning to just sprint straight in. Alex going to be the man to lead the charge. Not going to be connecting anything either, so yeah, I think they give up at this point.
Yeah, pretty hard to hunt into those T-apps. That's why so many people save there, because you can firstly take that initial angle and then you can fall back into that corner. And unless your opponents have multiple players instantly ready to peek that position, you can normally kind of play with those angles pretty well, which Farlig is aware of. He saves over the AWP, and it is the full buy for Copenhagen Flames. Not a bad one either. Not missing as many nades as you might expect, considering their money wasn't too great at the start of this round. They've got a fair few mollies, they've got a fair few nades, and they're going to use some of those nades on Banana, but it's Huxi who takes the brunt of the early utility damage, down to 37 health, and Steel tries to get aggressive, but Farlig nails the shot up close and personal.
That's what they need. That, especially when they're low on nades. Oh, he nearly had a chance to try and find another in the apartments as well. Lowell, realizing that the up could have rotated back in, no longer wanted to stay on that angle. It's still recoverable though for Movistar Riders. They've gone ahead and tried to get themselves a bit of control around long. They flash one player in, immediately moving them back though to join up by everyone else so that they can focus their attack just from this one position. But still, Farlig connects one. Refresh is able to get a frag as well before going down, and Farlig ensures that he comes out with the hat trick. And with that, a 1-on-2 is going to arise for Easter to try and pull off. He's going to need to rise up right now and pull off a massive clutch if he wants to actually keep his team in this map. With the damage from that previous round as well, they would go into this next one to fight for an overtime with a very weak investment. That smoke has given him a lot of time to reposition, only now really utilizing it to cross over to the pit, but he makes noise as he's dropping down. That is such an issue. Huxi and Nodio so close on short, know what's happening. The smoke even makes it a bit more difficult for him, unfortunately, as he can't even spot that first player to shoot at. And there it is, 15-7. The chicken just chilling in on the body. My camera was just stuck there. It didn't swap off for me for some reason.
Well, Copenhagen Flames are certainly no chickens right now. They are 15-7 up, and they should be taking this one over the line pretty soon.
They're clucking mad.
What did you say?
I said they're clucking mad.
Okay. I heard something else for a second there, so had to make sure, had to clarify that Dean wasn't being a crazy man.
I did say that word one of the days, though, about my internet provider.
Oh, wow. Would you like to name said internet provider, or are you gonna...
Sky. Ooh, Molly. That was dangerous. He actually somehow didn't connect that up shot. Didn't take all that much damage, though. I mean, they have the fire god with them. They are Copenhagen Flames, after all.
You don't get many team names that have a place name in them. Copenhagen Flames is kind of a nice one to have. I assume that it's just the organization that's Copenhagen, but maybe some of the players are. Would be nice. Farley, up close, misses a couple of shots this time. He hasn't been missing too many today, but now he has to fall back to the bomb site, which can be a bit uncomfortable for the AWPers sometimes. He's got a rifle to help him on this hold, but Movistar Riders aren't committing to this A bomb site just yet.
Slowing it down, and more so not by choice immediately, just because of the resistance they've been shown in general around these areas, having to ensure that they use those nades, that they cover off really everything that they can as they move forward into the arch. They're going to be setting up for, I think, a B split. Perhaps the goal was to wrap around into library so that they can have the double swing towards long peak from both of the angles. But the kills are still actually working out for them. Alex and Steel finding one each. Farlig still alive, hits the shot on the Easter. It wasn't the kill, but with the USP coming out, he's there to finish it off. And now there's 25 seconds left. They're going to actually reconsider about where they wanted to bring that bomb. They delayed it slightly going back towards library, but then realizing that A probably is the best choice for them right now, or at least in their opinion. Although the rotation has already come in from that B bomb site, so we will see Copenhagen Flames ready pretty quickly to move forward, but it is a double up as well.
Yeah, I don't know if there are rifles available to easily switch out to either. Farlig's trying to close the distance now. 27 kills on Farlig. Make that 28. He lands another shot, and Alex waiting in the corner gets the quick trade kill, but it's Farlig in the 1v1. Farlig finally misses, and Alex jumps probably over the AWP shot to be able to win the clutch. Another quad kill for Alex, who's been having a really good game of his own. He's been keeping Movistar Riders somewhat in contention here. And now again, Copenhagen Flames don't have money for this round. So Movistar Riders are mounting a bit of a comeback here on this T side. It's just a shame that they were so far behind to begin with, because even with these rounds going their way, it's such a long road ahead of them if they want to come back on this map.
Now, we don't expect a lot from Copenhagen Flames, but they are going to flash over a banana with a bit of a stack going on. So with the up close, Easter could get caught off guard. This could be slightly dangerous. Has one man to assist up close, being Mopos, who's trying to go around the corner. That's dangerous. Yeah, immediately dropped. Now they should be flashing in to try and follow it up. The Galil even being retrieved. They haven't pinned in the corner. The Galil spray was frankly terrible. But Queenix was there to help out on the USP, and now they have two rifles. They've sadly lost the A bomb site most likely, because it is only a USP here to hold it. But hiding in Graveyard, maybe he can catch one. Steel saw it. 100%. Yeah, there we go.
Good awareness by Steel to clear that position, especially in this sort of round where you know you're against pistols. That's a pretty common spot for players just to try and catch you off guard from. So nice that Steel just instantly clears that out. make sure that there can't be any shenanigans from just a single USP. And now Copenhagen Flames have got a slight decision to make here in this 3v3. They have a kit on Nodius, which could help them on this retake if they really wanted to go for it. But especially with Queenix having an AWP, which is obviously very valuable, he's already looking to save. So it's really just about whether or not they can get another gun here, maybe into the hands of Refresh. The economy shouldn't be too much of a consideration, considering it's 15-8 already, but Nodius is looking for some kills at the end here, looking to get a nice little frag, and Lowell is definitely dead. He's dead to the bomb, whatever happens. Nodius gets away with his life, so it is the AWP save. That's the main thing for Copenhagen Flames, and they took that round surprisingly close, but this is the buy that they were waiting for.
Yeah, they've still a good few opportunities to actually go ahead and close this one out, obviously, but it's getting a little bit closer. It's at least becoming a position where Movistar Riders are getting themselves into the matchup before they move on to their own map choice, which is always good. Get a little bit of warm-up. As I had said, if I had it ended 16-4, at that point I was beginning to believe that maybe Copenhagen Flames, just on their skill, could manage to get that victory on current kind of level of performance that maybe they could have got on Overpass. But yeah, Movistar Riders, they've finally started to come alive here. Even if they don't get the comeback, although it is still a possibility, as I said, I do think we'll see them for a lot better over an Overpass. But the pause at the moment, Copenhagen Flames are having a bit of a chat because their buy here still isn't perfect. Farlig, I would imagine, has the op on the ground. He does indeed. The Galil being retained over actually helps out in terms of being able to get a few extra nades. Nadio still has some money left over also. But here we go. 6 more for Movistar.
Yeah, that's what they need. Farlig, obviously, with the AWP that was saved from his teammates in the previous round. Nearly at the 30 bomb now, Farlig. He's been having a fantastic performance here on Inferno. Was even AWPing on the T side, which was very impressive to watch. Nodius is just pushing down Banana, but he's been blinded. Good kill from Mopos. Just sneaks on in, gets the kill, gets away safely because there were other Copenhagen Flames players looking for the refrag. So a nice quick kill from Mopos. Then he realizes he needs to back away. And Movistar Riders, with the early man advantage in this round, can probably just sit back and be happy now, realizing that Copenhagen Flames are the ones who have to take some risks here with only 4 CTs left alive.
There could be a potential here for the T's to actually wrap around into long. Obviously, you can see there is a player in Arch. They now realize that as well, but it at least gives them the opening to actually attack this A-bomb circle angles and make things so much more complicated for those pit players. Apparently not if Refresh can just take off heads either way, but Lowell pops out. The Molotov as well just makes things so difficult for Queenix as he gets spammed down by Easter. And I believe this round is over. Yeah, they're likely just going to have to call for the save as the bomb gets planted. Despite actually putting up a bit of a decent fight there in the beginning of that hold, it just kind of crumbles. Movistar Riders are going to reach double digits. With the weapon saved over, Hooksy could drop one. 2900 wouldn't give enough for Farlig to drop unless he has the M4A1S on, unfortunately. But they could contemplate pulling out the Force Spy. I don't think it'll happen, though, with the lead that they have. I think most likely a couple weaker weapons being invested behind what they have saved here still give themselves a good chance in the next round to actually try and snatch it away, but mostly focus on, once again, getting out as strong of a buy as they possibly can. That was an easy word. How did I get an L in there somehow? I don't know.
Happens to the best of us, Dean.
Yeah, you know, I gotta try to not have the Irish accent, which otherwise no one would understand me.
Imagine if, I feel like Movistar would just be thinking to themselves, if they won that second half pistol, they could be right in this game. Because remember, they lost the second half pistol, they lost the first 3 rounds of this second half, so I think they went 14-4 down or something ridiculous. They were very far behind. Now they've started to show some smooth moves on this T side. They got the opening kill well in that round. Then the quick execute onto A was just well timed. That player pushing out of the apartments, especially getting both those players in the back, was huge. And Movistar Riders have got another opportunity for a round win here. Just the saved AWP of Farlig being the main talking point for the CT side. He has again been tasked with solo holding Banana. That's a nice thing for Copenhagen Flames, is Farlig's been playing so well, they're happy leaving him solo holding B as he nails both those shots. Eastor, though, is there for the trade, so the AWP should be out of the hands of the CTs now. Oh, does that nade? No, it doesn't really blast it back far enough. Nodius is stuck with the Deke here.
It has actually been sent as a response, so that could be a little bit useful, but Of course, they do still have to actually hold this down, first of all, and around the edge of that smoke, Nodios, he does get spotted and finished off. Hooksy has already been dropped to 1 health, so there's not really a lot that he can do. Unless he hits some snappy headshots. I mean, it's always a possibility with this Deagle, but now he's been spotted 100%. He'd been spamming away for a while, and having Kevlar on these players definitely makes the save worthwhile. And you can see, indeed, even Hooksy's beginning to back away. They do already have the other 2 players just pushing forward so that they can get into slightly more secure positions to save for themselves. And I wouldn't imagine Movistar Riders are willing to hunt this one down, knowing that most it is pistols and Kevlar being saved, or in the case of Refresh now, a UMP, which I think he might want to upgrade in the next round anyway. Does depend. He'll have 5,000 for himself. Oh, sorry, 4.8 thousand, is it? So yeah, I mean, he could have a better economy.
The kill's going down at the end here. Farlig's ult is gone. Queenix looking for a kill, but the money's going to be fine for the CTs. They can buy basically whatever they want. Queenix has even saved that Kevlar, so he could buy some full nades, probably a kit as well. And a tactical timeout taken by Movistar Riders ahead of this round. Maybe it's starting to get a bit real for them now that they're like, okay, we're actually in this game. We're only 4 rounds away from overtime. This is starting to get to the point where you've got to really hunker down and try and make sure that these rounds can continue to go your way. Because oftentimes I think Movistar Riders have done a really good job in these rounds at getting the early advantage. So that's what they want to keep doing in these rounds. Oftentimes getting a quick 5v4 to start the round and then kind of closing it out from there. So let's see if they've got another idea to get an early advantage in this round as we're ready to head underway into round 27. Many people might not have expected us to get to this point, but Movistar Riders had different ideas.
Keeping themselves in it for sure. As we said, well, Overpass coming up next. If Copenhagen Flames somehow let this one slip away, they are in a lot of trouble. So they can, they need to go ahead and close this one out to keep themselves in. As we said, most likely if they are to get the victory for themselves, it would be over on towards that 3rd map of Nuke. Although Overpass could certainly be a competitive one as well. It wouldn't be one that we'd favor them on. Right now, looking to again just kind of keep it fairly standard with this this setup on the CT side. A little bit of a change with the up there in towards Boiler, and immediately actually Movistar Riders just gonna flash out mid. Oh, he's in so much trouble. Farlig's being spotted. He still gets 1 and actually falls back to safety. Being followed up on by the Boiler player, makes it around the corner completely unscathed. How the hell has that happened? Still though, 1-for-1 trade, not too terrible for Movistar as they move back towards B. But the molly and that smoke combined together is gonna delay them massively.
They still have plenty of time left. I think the utility from Hooksy was required just to make sure Nodius could arrive with this second AWP, but he is on the B-bomb site. Nodius lands the first shot. Nodius not able to connect on the second. Steal with 2 huge entries onto B, and that might just put this round to bed because Farlig has only just arrived on the rotate. The bomb's already been planted, and there's no clear line of sight for a pick, so the 2v3 retake on B is not a possibility. Copenhagen Flames call off this round. They go for the save. Really nice round from Steel as well. Those 2 entries onto B just single-handedly win the round. And that's what we're seeing from Movistar Riders. These individuals are stepping up now. And, I mean, Copenhagen Flames, it's got to be in the back of their minds here that they've let it slip from a very big lead to now what is a fairly close game.
Whew, this is getting crazy. Movistar Riders, I mean, it took them a while to really warm up. But once they've got there, it seems like they have a whole other level. It's having fun knifing each other now. 3 though to go. I mean, what was looking nearly impossible at one point has now become quite plausible. What has it been? 8 of the last 9 rounds haven't gone in favor of Movistar Riders. They've really kicked it up a notch here on the T side. And again, with the rounds just constantly going as they are, with Copenhagen Flames being forced to save a few players and such, it's not putting them in great spots. A little bit of an unbalanced economy. They normally have a couple weapons kept over, but other than that, every second round it seems like mostly their buy is just padded out with these pistols.
And because of that, the AWP of Farlig is playing aggressively in the apartment. Steel was spamming that, but none of the bullets connected, thankfully for Farlig, who wants to make the most of his AWP in this round. Hooksy here lining up a nade. Oh, he didn't decide to pull the trigger. If he threw that nade, it could have done big damage. Instead, Movistar Riders will get themselves into top banana safely, and A flashbang being lined up, as well as now the nade from Hooksy. It's a little too late, though. They've already moved up close on the Movistar side of things. Smoke from Copenhagen Flames could keep Movistar Riders at bay, though. I'm not sure they'll want to go through this, but they are having a little look here. Movistar Riders committing through the smoke. This could be a risk. Hooksy gets one kill on the hole, but Eastor, close range with the AWP, lands a shot of his own, and it looks like Movistar Riders have done enough here as they get onto the B site.
Oh, Queenix has pulled one back towards the bottom of Banana. That gives them an opening now. The issue is though the damage that's been done. Refresh is quite low, actually spamming through the coffins. It did tag down the bomb planter, but not quite enough for the kill. And with Queenix coming in from Banana, he tried to get the timing, but Easter did react in and pick up the headshot and trade back onto the op now to play this from Banana, meaning the chances of refreshing Farlig and the retake are not looking good. If they don't get a kill quickly, having that op would be something they could maybe consider saving, especially now as Refresh goes down. I think they were banking on him finding an opening for Farlig to really move forward, but that doesn't happen. Farlig ends up going down. He'll be able to reinvest anyway, obviously, but it's getting so close. 2 rounds in the difference. Another pause going to be called in by Copenhagen Flames, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see another one before the next round if they were to lose this one. They may as well use the last of them to have their best opportunity to try and close this out with the few chances they have remaining.
Yeah, this is definitely where I think both teams at this point are going to have some sort of mental game come into play, because even for Movistar Riders, it probably starts to get just a lot more serious now, realizing, okay, we're actually 2 rounds away from overtime. It starts to maybe put a bit more pressure on you, whereas you were kind of playing freely to begin with. And then obviously, Copenhagen Flames have got to be feeling the pressure right now, because allowing this comeback to happen would be terrible for them, and they're obviously aware of that. So they've got to focus on getting one of these last 2 rounds left in regulation over the line. If we head to overtime, you've got to think that Copenhagen Flames would be crushed, but that's still ahead of us. Right now, we've got to focus on this round where Farlig's AWP is having a little look down mid. Refresh has to be careful. They're close by. Refresh running through the smoke. He can't get the spray. Finally connects. How? What is happening? What? Refresh gets another kill. It's into the 3 versus 3 in the weirdest way.
He tapped the player in the head, and because he was continuing to walk towards him, the dude stepped back one more step and into the Molotov. Otherwise, he might have survived. That was just all around really, really strange. But a 3-on-3 is not a bad spot for Copenhagen Flames. It's kind of a miracle that Refresh was able to come out with what he found. Damage being done pretty consistently on both sides as well, with Steel barely hanging on to life, with Nadios on 33. As it is actually that tagged player for the CT side that is beginning to rotate back over here to try and help out Queenix towards that A-bomb site, which is where we can see Movistar Riders are beginning to join up and bring themselves towards. So this one is still going to be pretty tough. And oh, the timing. Lowell, if he had held that in the like quarter of a second, he would have saw Nodios. That was very unfortunate. Probably would have had the kill as well with him being so low. But they need to get going. 38 seconds now remaining as they wrap in through long. So they are looking to try and challenge together on this player in towards the pit. Of course, they want to make sure that he's not going to have an easy time just picking them off. Instead, he'll have to fight towards the long players, as of course the push is also coming through apartments. But he does have help from the bomb site.
There we go. Queenix set up for the initial trade kill. The man in the apartments finally drops down. Lowell looking for the kill up close. Damage done to Queenix. Lowell eventually picks up the headshot. The bomb can be planted in a 2v1, favoring Movistar Riders. It's Farlig on the rotate, though, the man that's been so good. But yeah, he doesn't want to go for it. He wants to save for the last round. He realizes with the AWP especially, the 1v2 is unlikely, as he doesn't even have the kit right now. So he calls it off. Is this happening, Dean?
It seems like it is, honestly. Farlig right now is probably going a little mad. He's up there on 30 kills, and it seems like it's not really going to be enough for them. They might actually have to fight in the overtime to get themselves this victory, because the economy here is going to be relatively weak to try and fight back into the next round at least. We'll see a drop from Farlig. Queenix can buy for himself with the 3400 Fresh, and Hooks he can scrape together the rifles. They'll be limited on nades, though. Nadios, on the other hand, will have to go for a weaker weapon unless he wants an M4 and just body armor. So there's going to be a lot of weaknesses to this investment, but I mean, it's okay. They still have that one final chance here to try and close it out. And as I said, I wouldn't be surprised if we had seen another pause from Copenhagen Flames. We actually see one come in from Movistar Riders.
There we go. I've also just got to give a lot of credit to Movistar Riders. Even to get to this point is incredible, because I was giving a lot of praise to Copenhagen Flames in the first half for how well they were playing. And clearly Movistar Riders are just as capable of showing up here on Inferno. We're seeing it come through with all these T-side rounds. They've done exactly what they needed to do. Really impressive from Movistar Riders, especially on their opponent's map pick. And here we go, last standby in regulation for Copenhagen Flames. It's either overtime or the victory right here for Copenhagen Flames. Those are the only options left for us, folks. Farlig's got the AWP, a couple of FAMASs in the mix. The nades are at least good for the Copenhagen Flames side, but a couple of FAMASs in there could be costly. We'll see how it all plays out here in the last round of regulation.
I mean, we're not really seeing any aggression or anything early on from Copenhagen Flames. Just trying to play their game here and hope that'll allow them to close it out. Some good nade damage already, though, being done as they were up on the close corner there towards the top of Banana. Small bit being traded back on Mopos, but a pretty decent start from Movistar Riders, as they should be able to get themselves that control as well. That's what I was presuming they were going to follow up on immediately, but they've taken their time. We'll be able to find that as Copenhagen Flames don't continue to challenge. Instead, 3 players stacked up around this short side of A, where they have been having a bit of trouble holding, if we're being honest. We've seen that A-bomb site falling quite a few times.
Yeah, I think Farlig in general has been playing on the B side of the map with the AWP as well. He's had some rounds where he's played A, but it's felt like a lot he's been playing B, and this time Farlig gets assertive, gets aggressive, and gets the opening pick of the round for Copenhagen Flames. And that's something we've not seen often for the CT side. So that absolutely could be the difference maker, could be what Copenhagen Flames needed here as they take the early advantage. With 40 seconds left, Movistar Riders have got to make their move.
Yeah, it is going to be on towards B. Nades-wise, there's a couple of smokes for them to try and delay here from the CT side, but that no Molotovs are such. Nadios finds 2 of them running through the smoke. Okay, it looks like, unfortunately, Movistar Riders could be falling just short of the comeback, as Easter is now left alone. Spam through the smoke. He spams back and gets 1, but he also finds a nade. Just dispersing shrapnel all around, dropping him to A health, and there it is. Hooksy with the final frag, 16-14.